Welcome to JHart Modelworks. It's time to get started on another project, and this time we'll be taking a look at Tamiya's recently-ish released brand new tool, Nissan 240ZG. Welcome to my workbench. Let's get started. Alright guys, so as I've mentioned several times now, me and my good friend Sean from the Scale Model Car Guy channel, that will be up in the corner, we're going to do another buddy build. I love doing buddy builds, and I love doing buddy builds with Sean. Sean is an awesome builder. So we both kind of have a soft spot for JDM legend cars, and this time we are going to be doing Tamiya's Nissan Fairlady 240ZG. This is the brand new kit from Tamiya. They released it, I want to say last year. It's very recently though. It's much recent than most of the stuff that I've been building lately. So we're going to take a look at what's inside this big old box. Got some information about the car. Lots of gorgeous box art. We have our instructions that are normally on the bottom, but they're on the top because I've already taken them out to scan them. We have a black sprue. There is a metallic gray sprue. Our clear sprue. We have two chrome sprues. These are kind of cool though. I'll explain those more in a bit. Our body. We have a white sprue. We have some decals as well as some metal transfers. They come nicely sealed and separated from everything. We have tires and polycaps. Kind of a data sheet about the car that's like 2 paragraphs, but it's in 6 different languages. And some tips on how to glue your fingers together and, you know, putty the space between the thumbnail, stuff like that. Always fun. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get everything unbagged and we'll take a closer look. Let's start by taking a look at the instructions, and there are a lot of them. There are 37 steps in the instruction book, something like, I don't know, 13, 14, 15 pages. They are book style, not the fold-out style, which I like the book style better personally. The fold-outs tend to, you have to kind of fold them up and wad them up to try and see what you're looking at and still have room on the desk. Let's take a look at the body. It is typical clean Tamiya plastic. There's definitely some seam lines that are going to have to be taken care of. Some mold lines are going to need to be deepened a little bit. These are okay. But these are going to need to be cleaned up a little bit. All in all, it's your typical clean Tamiya body, except that it isn't. Tamiya has taken a page out of Aoshima's book, and they've made a ton of parts separate for no reason other than to increase the parts count for the kit. That's the only reason I can think of. For instance, this gas tank door is a part that's on a sprue somewhere, and it just glues in. It's not hinged. You're not going to see the gas opening. You're not going to open it up. It's going to get glued in. There's another piece. There's a lock, I think, that glues in on top of that. The door handles are separate. This entire front fascia. There's no reason that these headlight inserts could not have been molded onto that body, because the instructions tell you to actually glue it on before you put it on the chassis. So it's not like it has to be there for structural purposes. This could have been molded on. This is the front lip, but it doesn't go right on. There's another part somewhere else in the kit that gets glued on first, then this glues on top of it. The same with this cowling here. Sits right on top of here. Nothing goes on before it, so there's no reason why this wasn't molded in. It just makes absolutely no sense at all. The seats are molded in 2 parts, which I guess that's kind of nice if you want to 2-tone paint them or something. Our hood's pretty nice. Oh, this is the rear hatch. I haven't looked real closely. My understanding is that it just glues down onto here. It's not hinged in any way, shape, or form. It just glues on. It should have been molded in as part of the body. But enough griping. Pretty nice steering wheel. Spare tire cover. Chassis is fairly clean. Fairly nice detail. No real sinks or anything, any big issues. You have drum brakes. I may not be using those though. We'll see. We'll see what happens. A really nice detail on the master cylinder with the various fluid reservoirs. I think that's the clutch cylinder. Part of the gimmicky opening hood system. We'll see how well that works. So all the parts are really nicely detailed. I just kind of feel that a lot of them, yeah, there's the gas cap. And there's going to be a chrome piece that sits right in there to function as the lock. A lot of stuff that they just didn't need to go to the effort of making it separate parts, in my opinion. Moving on to the black sprue. For our gas tank. We have our chassis. We have these wheels, which are kind of weird. They're a 3-piece wheel. Which, I mean, they're kind of cool, because basically you're going to take this wheel, then you would take these chrome inserts off the chrome part and put them on top of there. And then these black inserts will sit right on top of the chrome inserts, right inside those little valleys in there. And you end up with like 2-tone wheels, but you could paint them a lot easier than trying to mask those off. So all in all, I mean, it's pretty cool the way they did it. I think I'm going another direction with the wheels though. Got some sway bars. Parts I don't even know what they are. The front has disc brakes. The rear has drums. The calipers are separate from the rotors, but only for one side. That didn't need to be a separate part. Those could have been molded in there. They do it all the time. Some pretty nice detail on the steering column. You've got your door cards. Your interior floor pan. The dash looks like it's going to be pretty nice. It is going to be a right-hand drive car. The ZG was only sold in Japan, is my understanding. A lot of suspension pieces, rear differential, for shocks. Tamiya, yep. Every single time, ejector pin marks in the center of the springs. Not sure why Tamiya feels they just have to do it, but they do it every single time. Those are going to need to be cleaned up. Nice center console, your stereo and your air conditioning. Lots of detail. Lots of detail. Windshield wipers are a bit... Oh, okay. That was the back side of the windshield wipers. The front side's not bad. Now, something that I did notice... Oh, they've got horns. Those are the horns. Nice. Let me find them again. So something that I did notice... The mirrors are 3 pieces. So you've got the bell-shaped port for the side housing, or for the housings. You're going to have a chrome piece that's going to need to go in there for the actual mirror itself. And then they split the stocks off. Where did they go? These are the stocks. So these are going to get glued into these bases somewhere. And they're notched as if the body should be drilled for them. But they go right here and the body is not drilled for them. And the instructions don't tell you you need to drill them either, I don't think. So we'll see when we get to the instructions. It's going to take us to our gray sprue, where we have some of the gunmetal parts for the body, those wheel arches, and the fender flares. I'm not entirely certain what that is. There's your rear spoiler. There's the air intake. Start getting into our engine pieces, which the engine is beautifully detailed. Absolutely beautifully detailed engine. Our fan, our belts. These are the carburetors. These are kind of a letdown. I would have preferred triple side Webers with air intakes, and I may do it as an aftermarket part. But there's a lot of detail that goes in here, though. They included a lot of pieces for the fuel rails and stuff like that. There's our tiny little distributor. Headers. Very clean, beautifully molded on the radiators. So I think these are some of those carburetor linkage parts. Fuel pump, I believe. Just great quality. The glass is beautiful, pristine. No scratches, no blemishes. Optically clear. No distortion. Side glass is just as clear. Rear glass has the molded in detail for the defroster. Headlight covers. I mean, all this clear is beautiful. So we're going to get that put right back into its bag so nothing happens to it. We have a couple of chrome trees We're going to start with the standard one. Again, we have our wheel inserts, part of those 3-piece wheels. This is all just a bit too bright for me, so I will probably strip it and do either Alclad or maybe some Super Metallic 2 Super Clear. Our door handles, headlight bezels, tail lights. Pretty sure one of these is the lock for the gas cap. It's all very clean, very cleanly molded. It's just, for me, it's just a little too bright. The second chrome tree, and this is kind of cool how they did this. This is all the trim for the glass. So if you want to strip it and respray it, you can strip it and respray it really easy. If you don't want to use it just like this, you just glue these in place on the body and then glue the glass in. I would use something like Elmer's white glue for that, because you know super glue is going to cause a mess. But I mean, that is a pretty cool idea. No masking the body off, trying to paint the chrome trim and, you know, cutting into the body and making messes, nothing like that. We have some metal transfers. These are rings that go around the wheels. Some trim that goes around the taillights. Plenty of Fairlady logos, mirrors. Probably some door lock pieces. I think those go on the inside of the doors. And we have some decals. Which, not gonna lie, these look a little thick. Fairly nice detail on the gauges. Got some engine parts and whatnot. Getting some decals. Looking back at our instructions, there's just a couple of things I did want to kind of show you, and I've already commented on them. So that's how the rear lights are going to assemble, and that's kind of cool because you can actually paint this part black, paint your lenses their appropriate colors, get everything assembled onto a chrome background, and then just glue it into the car. And you won't have to be fighting with trying to get the flat black as well as, you know, your chrome, and that can be a hassle. But what I wanted to show you is where are they at? Yeah, this is those mirrors. So you got these metal transfers that are going to go onto the housings. I mentioned a chrome piece. It's not a chrome piece. It's actually just a metal transfer. Then these are the base that are going to have to get glued into the sides of the mirror. And then the mirrors get glued onto the body. And it shows holes here. It doesn't tell you you have to drill those holes, but you need to drill those holes and line them up straight, because there's no markers on where to drill those holes. There's nothing telling you where they're at on the body. That body is perfectly smooth. So in my opinion, that could be handled. These literally, the mirrors could be one piece and the body could be pre-drilled. So yeah, there's your rear glass install. Or there's your rear hatch panel. It just gets glued down. Same as the gas door. It just gets glued down. Why did that need to be a separate piece? Why couldn't that have just been molded to the body? Makes absolutely no sense. I'm complaining. I know it's, you know, a small thing and it's probably Someone's going to say, oh, basic modeling skills, but for a brand new Tamiya kit, they're making a lot of extra work you don't need. But it's going to be a fun build. I'm super excited. I know it sounds like I'm griping, and I kind of am, but it is going to be a fun build. I'm not sure if I'm going to do this as a build video series. Usually when I do buddy builds, they're more for me. So I normally just do updates on them. Just a weekly update. Something else that I did pick up is Hobby Design's Detail Up set. So we'll take a look at that real quick. There's loads of goodies in here. We have resin seatbelt latches. There are a ton, and I mean an absolute ton, of these tiny little rivets, which may or may not find their way onto the car. They gave us some plug wire, some very fine plug wire. And then there's a lot of photo etch. These are a replacement for the hood hinge setup. Some of these pieces I don't even know what they are. You have lots of seatbelt or harness. Looks like harnesses. Window cranks. There's just a ton of detail in the photo etch. They give you some brass material for your seat belts. And there's some various trims, including trims for the headlights, which I'm not sure why. The trim from Tamiya is already really nice. So Hobby Design always does really beautiful resin and really beautiful photo etch. However, where Hobby Design always comes in short are the instructions. That's it. Everything that's in this set isn't even covered in the instructions. A lot of these pieces, I don't even know what they are, what they do, where they go. Here's how to assemble the harnesses. That's nice. How to wire things up. How to actually wire up the plugs with their plug wire. They do tell you what drill bit to use. It's a 0.4 millimeter drill bit. That's nice. But yeah, there's a ton of like photo etch trim and stuff in here that I don't know where it goes because it's not really explained. But we'll make the most of it and we'll see what parts we do and what parts we don't use. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. I do feel there are definitely some pieces that will be a benefit though, especially the for the brakes. It's always nice to have photo etch for the brakes. So that's going to be it for this video. Thanks for hanging out with me and going through the box to see what's coming up on our upcoming build. Thanks for watching, keep modeling, and I'll catch you on the next one. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. Also feel free to leave comments, feedback, critique, or anything else in the comment section below. I enjoy interacting with all my viewers in the comment section and try to reply to all the comments I receive. If you want to catch future videos, please consider subscribing to my channel and make sure you click the bell notification icon so you can be notified when I upload new videos. As always, thank you for watching, keep modeling, and have a great day.